Truth.
Ran, you know
Good.
how they split up all the time and they're on different levels, and they basically they're doing their
Yeah,
own
that's
side
true.
missions, right? So they're
Hmm.
we're probably gonna see him in a few chapters in season three, because this season's ended, right? So next season we'll probably
Yeah,
see
and
him
yeah,
return. Yeah, but they're just on a
I need him
different
to
floor.
return.
And remember, each floor is like a size of a planet, so they're having their own adventure. Like they got their own whole storyline going on. Obviously, it's not as mainstream and relevant as Bam's, but it can be, right? And even Sayu, the writer, he said season three, before he drops season three, he's gonna do a side story. And I think he's gonna bring back some of the characters in that side story to just show what else is happening around the world while these guys are doing the family head wars.
Okay,
Right.
okay, okay.
The world building is
Yeah, I'm ready for
top
it.
tier. Like I used to call it the Korean One Piece, but I, as much as I respect Golda, right? Like I think this is better writing. This is better writing,
I
and
can't go
even
that
the
far. I
writers.
can't go. Wait,
Yeah.
wait, wait. The way I look at it, Truth, I'm not gonna say what you're saying is. No, I'm about to disagree. Just I would just say it's. I, if somebody said that One Piece was better or Tower God was better, I'll be like, you know what? I'm not mad at it because they both have those moments, and you know what I'm talking about. Where you like, damn, and they both got those characters like White. I can't wait till they get introduced to White.
Right?
That's what I'm waiting on. Well, you read too, yeah? You read
Oh
the
yeah.
memoir? Oh, so
What
you already
about
know what I'm
Hell
talking about
Joe?
then.
Yep.
No. What about
I already
Hell
saw
Joe?
it.
What about Trauma Ray and the other family heads? What about like these? There's so many people that they've yet to meet that are just gonna, that should, right, if done right, break the internet.
Wait, you said Hail Joe?
Yeah, man, I fucking love that character, man. You know when they went to the floor of death.
Hold on, let me see.
You know when they
No
went to the
doubt there's
floor of
a
death.
Oh,
there.
this guy. I'm
That
looking
arc,
at him. Yeah.
he's gonna be a very interesting character.
Oh, that's when they're on the Hell Train. This is a part of the Hell Train
Hmm.
arc. Yeah, yeah. That's why we
Oh
trying to get
man.
people to watch it so they can get the
And
views
that
up.
that
So
girl that
we
has
get another
the
season.
invisible wolves, like she's like a princess candidate or something like that, right? And she's got like the wolves,
Walls?
wolves. Like she's got invisible wolves. Like her power is like she has these Shinsu wolves that fight for her. What's her name? Hold on.
So she's a
Oh,
sheep.
wolves, wolves.
It sounds like
Okay.
you're saying she's a sheep.
No, 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 no. She's got her own floor as well, right? A floor of Tess herself, right? And it's
Oh
about,
wow.
it revolves around names. You know
Mm.
the girl that I'm talking about, bro?
What we
I
And
talking
you're
gotta,
about?
not talking
you got,
about
yeah, you gotta let me know. Like, you gotta show me a picture. Yeah.
What's the name
you
of it?
know,
What's the name of the joint you talking about?
does that girl somewhat resemble like Coon, the
Said the
person with the
lady
No,
with the
green
no, no, no.
wolf?
green
She doesn't.
wolves.
She comes from like they call it the Grey Wolf family, Lopo Beer, part of the Lopo Beer branch, right? It hasn't been
Okay.
animated yet. That's why I was like kind of speaking to Vel because he's up to date, right? I think it's the next. I think that would be season. It's the next season, no?
Wait, wait, wait. What did
Hmm.
she do again?
Lopopia.
So she's basically like Stark in Bleach. You know Stark with with the wolves fighting for him.
Yes. Los Lobos.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he's kind of like she's kind of got that power, and she's a Zarhard princess candidate, but something happened, like where she disgraced her family or something like that, so they punished her to a specific,
Oh,
yeah,
Kaiser. I think
floor.
okay,
Kaiser.
okay, yeah, yeah, yes, yes. That's a part
Yeah,
of the. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, the floor of
even like
death. Yeah.
even that whole arc is amazing. Like, do you know what I mean? Her as a character, she's gonna get a huge fan base, man. She's cold.
I'm not gonna lie, they gonna love her. They gonna love meeting the family head and what he does to White. He put White in his place. Yeah, it's a lot. Even with because wasn't what was the controversy going on in that arc with
With White?
the guy you just told me about with Hellboy? It was something they was trying to do. The king,
Eljo?
because he was a little kingdom. It was like a ruler. He was a ruler, right? Yeah. I'm trying to think about what was. I'm a head, so I can't remember everything.
Floor of Death is a messed up floor because of one of these irregulars. So you know how Bam is an irregular, you got Uruk Mazino, you got a few others, right? One of them was called
I remember.
Enryu. And yeah, he ended up killing a guardian on one of the floors, right? And then that guardian basically, because of its death and how much power they have, it ruined that whole floor. Like it started raining blood and it just made it a hellhole. They called it the floor of death. And a lot of people got trapped on that floor, right? So Helljo, he was just a guy that grew up there, in this shithole. Kind of like the Phantom Troop growing up in that dumpster and whatnot, right? And his dream was to like basically free everyone from the floor of death, and he meets Uruk Mazino, right? And we all love
Yeah.
Uruk,
Okay,
right?
I remember that.
And
Yeah, I
Mazino, yeah,
remember. I
Mazino
remember
gives
that
him
part.
like a power
That
basically to
monster.
kind of to change it and get them out of it, right? But then I think something goes wrong. Like the current ruler of the soul, like surviving city of the hell floor, the floor of death, kind of wins a vote or something like that. So Helljoy doesn't kind of get what he wants out of it, but then he ends up getting a power called the Red Thrisser, which kind of corrupts him into being evil, and then he ends up kind of like ruling the floor of death. And that whole arc was all about they needed to get something, they needed to get someone that can see the future, right? That happened to be Helljoy's best friend. So in order for him to help them, they had to help him kind of redeem his friend and save the floor of death and all of this madness. It was a dope arc. It was a dope series. It was a dope chapter in the story, and we get to see Uruk again. No, does Uruk come back to the floor of death in that thing?
Yes, he does. He comes at
Yeah, we
the
get
end.
to see
Remember?
Uruk again. Yeah, like we get to see Uruk again. Yeah, no, it's pretty cool. There's so many arcs, Lord. This is what I'm trying to tell you that they're so far behind, and just thinking about how his journey goes and how much they're gonna experience. How can you not tell me this isn't gonna be like One Piece? It could even take over if done correctly.
Yeah, they gotta keep the animation up though. You know how people love the look. Like the story's gonna be good regardless. They just gotta work on the animation. That's it.
It's almost like
Gotta keep
Blue
it up.
Lock. Everyone was
You can't.
shitting on Blue Lock this whole season, and then you just saw the last two episodes, and it was just like, wow.
Blue Lock is fire, and I hate when
The
people talk shit
last two
about
episodes, I don't want to hear no one talking about how shit the animation was because it didn't
it.
matter. It did what it needed to do, man. Fucking
Thank
hell.
you, thank you. I need to go ahead and
He
watch
did what he
that
had to
shit.
do. All right.
In Narvel, I was impressed. I was impressed, man. Very few
When I
animes
first
I'm not a
started, it
nowadays
Blue
was
give
Lock
like,
you
fan. I'm gonna be real.
very few animes nowadays give you those goosebumps, give you those what the fuck moments. Like we get it from Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer does it the best, right? You got JJK moments, right? You get the Bleach Thousand Year Blood War arc, right? Blue Lock delivered something on those levels. I'll be real.
Hmm.
Okay. Okay. I'm just not a big soccer fan. It's just me though. But
Tower of
nah.
God.
Yeah.
I read Sayu's message about season 3, right? In
What do you
or
say? Okay,
chapter
put me
3.
on.
Basically saying that how they had a lot of hardships delivering this season and stuff like that. But he's a perfectionist, right? So he was never gonna release and give us something that we didn't like, right? And it was one, and this chapter, this season that we just finished reading, was one of his
Somebody
longest
shaving?
ones.
Hold on. Hold on. All right, go ahead, Truth.
Yeah, this season was really long, and like he really wanted us to like really get to know the characters and understand the story that he was trying to tell. That's why this season was longer than the previous one. And then he was saying going into the
Hey,
third,
tequila.
yeah, he was saying going into the third, he doesn't want to do it half-hearted. He wants to do exactly what he did with this season and more. So he's going to be hitting up all the forums. He's listening to the fans. He's going to see the feedback of what we didn't like about what we just read and try and implement those changes in the new season coming up. And because that's going to be like such a big, long-winded project, that's why he's also giving us the side story. So before we jump into season 3, and see the aftermath of Chomare versus I don't want to spoil too much. Before we see the
Yeah, yeah,
aftermath
yeah,
of
yeah,
that,
yeah, yeah,
we're
yeah,
gonna
yeah, yeah,
see
yeah.
a side story, right? And that's what I was saying to you before. Maybe the side story is gonna involve Ran. and all these other characters that are elsewhere on the floor. Because even that kid in the tracksuit, that's part of Ran. So you got Ran, you've got the Green Princess, and then you got the guy in the Adidas tracksuit, right? And that guy in the Adidas tracksuit, he's a strategist. He's almost on Kuhn's level. Like I think he might be have more potential than Kuhn when it comes to strategy, but he's a bit of a clown boy and a bit of a funny man. And it'll be good to see his character fleshed out a bit more as well. So I'm looking
Yeah,
forward to seeing what the
I'm just
side
waiting to
stories say him.
yeah. I'm just ready to see what's going to come about with what happened at the end. You know, for the readers, you already know what we'll be talking about. Well, hold on. One, two, three. We got four readers in here. Got no
Are they?
X. You read,
Does
right?
everyone read? So there's no spoilers.
I know him reads. In my room. But I'll just say this. I'm just ready to see what's going to come about with that war. Um, because I don't know. Oof. Do you think this is going to be in
Was
game
you
after
was
this?
you
Like,
was you team Gustang or was you team Tromare?
I ain't gonna hold you. I was Team Gustain.
I've been Team Gustang from the beginning, you know. I I like the whole Chumare, you know, like how
He read
he
too many
always sits on
books.
his throne with his head in his lap, you know, like he's always like in sorrow, you know. And it made me feel like, oh, there's something about this guy that I'm gonna take his side. I don't know what it is yet, but someone so powerful that looks so defeated and lonely, like there must be a story behind that, and it's going to be a compassionate story that I'm going to relate to and love. And then the story developed, and this guy was a fucking asshole, and it made me feel angry that I ever felt sorry for him at all in any way, shape, or form. Right, and Gustang as well.
Yeah,
We see
especially with the
Gustang,
backstory. Yeah,
yeah, we see Gustang as this manipulator, you know, this whole arrogant, holier than thou guy that walks around the floors like planning and doing whatever the hell he wants. And it's like, who is this guy? He looked like white supremacy,
he's
you know,
Donald.
like
No, I'm
I
playing.
looked at him and I just saw white supremacy, right? But then as soon as his story undeveloped, like developed, right, I was like, oh my god, Gustang might be him. He might be that guy. Like I fucks with him.
Yeah, yeah. When I look at Gus thing, I think of Donald. No, I'm playing. Um, that's my guy though. I can't wait till he get introduced. He'll be like, you know what? I can see that. Um, I'm just waiting to see. Oh, do you remember the lady that this is like after the Floyd death? Maybe after.
Nah,
I be
it's
getting
all a blur at this point. But go on.
yeah, it is. It is. You ain't lying. Like you drunk or something. Um, the lady that was over the floor who also like she was just trying to like make. I think she was trying to like make enough money for her family or something like that. But she had to. She was like a floor administrator, right? And she had to basically stay on that floor. She couldn't see her family. I want to see her introduced. That's who I'm waiting to see. If you know who I'm talking about, the one that had the mask, she had the inventory of different weapons and stuff.
Mhm,
She
mhm,
collected
mhm,
weapons.
mhm.
I'm waiting to see her. If y'all know who I'm talking about, I know you know who I'm talking about too. But she's gonna. I want her to come back into the story because she's gonna be a big help. But you already know too who I want to see. Ivanka Hill. Come on, now I want to see the black woman because she
The
tough.
non-binary woman, man. We don't know if that's a man or a woman.
Man, that's a man.
Is she
Look,
the
that is
one
a
that
woman.
I
Don't
used
do
don't
to
know
that,
what that is. I'll
have
be
a grown
so
baby?
honest. That's just
man. That
Ivanka
is a
hell.
woman.
That's just
I.
that's what I'm gonna call that person, Ivanka hell, because I don't know
Did she have
what they
titties?
are.
Did she have
We don't see
titties?
Yeah,
no
I think
titties.
that was a woman. She's just really tomboyish.
Hold on. That's a woman, man. I ain't trying to hear that. Let me see. Let me see what they label her as on the wiki. Talking about he don't know what she. That's crazy. Oh, he might be right. Gender is unknown.
Unknown? Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
Hold on. Let me try this. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see if they do this for everybody though.
While you're looking that up, another reason why I didn't like Trummery, two reasons. He basically looked at Bomb as like
like a breeding animal, like something to just use just for his genes and whatnot. And what he did to the previous king of the dog tribe, like he said, he slaughtered them just for the heck of it. I'm like,
Who you
really,
talking about?
dude?
Wait, you're talking about Yama's people, the Beaskins.
Yes, he said he killed them just because he felt the need to do so, not
Who
for
who
any like
killed them?
and yeah, like if you
Who
just
killed
like
them? Who
killing
killed them? Him?
people,
Sorry.
what's up?
Who killed them? Sorry, I missed that.
Charnery. Either he did it
Oh,
himself
okay.
or he used his subordinates to slaughter a whole bunch of the dogkin. I thought, yeah, I'm not a huge fan of that. You're gonna commit genocide just because?
I mean, it's not. It wasn't just because, right? Like the way they tried to present his motives were like they're beyond our understanding as insignificant people. Like he created them, so therefore he can destroy them. That they're his work. They're his experiments, right? It's no different from like a lab scientist that kills a bunch of rats trying to find a cure for cancer,
Give them
right?
back,
The
Donald.
rats will never understand why they're being killed, right? But then the scientist knows that he's actually trying to find a cure for cancer. He's actually trying to find a, do you know what I mean? It's a superiority god complex kind of take, but do, they humanize the beastskins, and as a reader, we grew attached to them, and therefore we found what he done heinous, right? But say you remove that attachment,
Ah,
say you didn't
okay.
know these beastskins and you just saw them, and they were told to you how they were told to us in a flashback, like, oh, I'm gonna create these creatures because I'm trying to find something. I'm trying to find a cure for the rest of the tower. You wouldn't care that he wiped out that a room full of experiments, would you? It's just that you feel attached to them now because you know their stories.
So I should see Charnery as more like a scientist trying to solve a global crisis or something.
Nah, you see him as someone who is a maniac with a god complex and an evil
There
piece of
you go.
shit because that's what he is.
Okay, I'm that side then.
All right, hold on, y'all. Hold on, y'all. Hold on, real quick, y'all. Hold on. I'm just ready to get season 3 animated, man. You think we're gonna get it? You think we're gonna get it? You think season 2 did a
We
good
have
enough
to get
job?
it. Yeah, we have to get it. If the Korean studios are have any brain cell amongst them, they need to put all their money on Tower of God for carrying that market when it comes to animation and cartoons in the East. Like they need to bank on Tower of God because the story's there, right? It just needs the backing and the animation, and it'll be a big contender with some of the biggest animes coming out of Japan and even some of the animations coming out of China.
What what studio do you think they need to do they just stay with the same studio or go to a different one?
Whichever works best, whichever company has the less controversy, has the less mess going on around behind the scenes, the company that has their best interests at heart as well. They need to make the right deals. The artwork, right? A lot of people saying that the season two artwork or season two animation was worse than season one. But I prefer season two animation to season one. I don't like that cartoony, like sketch pad kind of animation that they tried to give us in season one. And then that drastic change, how it changed from season one to season two, looks so amateurish and experimental. I don't even know what season three is going to look like. They're probably going to bring in some 3D shit. And Tower of God isn't the anime that you want to be experimenting with. Like, this is gold. Find what you need, find what you want before you release it, and stick with it. Make it iconic. But then again, One Piece don't look the same as it did back in the day as well. To be fair, like I
I was
guess
about to say,
that's
yeah.
just maybe I'm being a bit too harsh.
Now I'm gonna say this. They need to come back next year. You do not wait. We cannot wait another. How long was it? Like 8, 9 years before we got a season 2. No, we need to come back next year. I'm sorry. No, like real talk. That could make or break the anime. Like, yes, the fans gonna be there, but I'm talking about the new watchers. Like, because you haven't gave, like Donald said, you haven't gave us the, ooh, I want to keep watching moment, right? Like for the list, for the readers or the people that's been there from the beginning, yes. But I'm talking about for the new watchers. We need that big view episode, or big view episodes on the plural. That's what I'm talking about. True. That's what
Who's
people
the
need.
studio that does Demon Slayer? Is that Ufotable or Ufotable or something like that, right?
I don't know who does.
Yeah, it's like some, I think like Ufotable or Youthable, I don't know, something like that, right? They're the ones that do the Fate series. No studio is touching them right now. Like they're goated. They're far ahead. They're gone, right? And then the closest next to them will probably be Mappa and those things. I reckon if they had that Demon Slayer studio behind them, yeah, we'll be looking at a whole different anime right now.
But Mappa got a lot of work on their hands, though.
Yeah, Mappa's ghetto, man.
It's definitely ghetto.
Mappa is ghetto, man.
They be overworking them people. So we'll see, man. Like, as long as they don't do no, he don't do no bullshit, you know. And the other thing, don't pull of God of High School, where you just try to speed it up to get to the good part. Nah, bro, don't do that
Hey, that
either.
God of
That's the
High
other thing.
School animation was dope. Who done that? Like they should have done. They should have stepped in and done all of them. They should have done Nobilis and Tower of God as well as God of High School. They
You
should have
want
done
them
all
to fuck
three.
up that story? Think about it. They would have fucked up that story.
If the God of High School
It would have
animators
looked
did Tower of
What?
God,
it
they
would
would
have
have
looked
fucked it up.
crispy. It would have been crispy, but that story would have been all fucked up.
I think that would have looked fire.
Do you know how pissed off I was by the end of that first God of High School?
Yeah, a lot of people was disappointed, but the fight
Like
scenes they slapped.
I've never even read the webtoons, and I'm like, yo, this thing look crispy. The choreograph crazy. Where's the substance? Where's the goddamn story? It ain't there because they apparently, from what y'all told me, push fast forward times a billion on that bitch.
Yeah, they chopped out half the. They chopped out so much it was ridiculous, but. I don't know, man. It was a one shot, man. They had one chance. They couldn't flesh it out the same way they did in the webtoon because they didn't have the funds or the chance to do so, right? So they had to kind of like give us an extreme preview.
So, are you guys looking forward to
But true,
season
that's what I'm
two?
saying though. Go ahead.
Wait, who's talking? Are we going to
No,
him with his question,
no,
or are we
yeah, that
going
was him. That
to?
was him. Yeah, we're going to him. Go ahead, him.
All right, him. What was your question?
Yes, I was asking. I heard that God of High School will continue 2025. Are you guys looking forward to it or not looking forward
They
to
better
it?
not try to bring that shit back.
It's a wrap on
Really?
that.
As a webtoon reader, I'm excited for it because I know that story
They
is
got to
goated as well.
they got to reboot the whole
That's
thing
what I'm saying. They
because
can't go
they're gonna
off of
Yeah,
where they
that's.
ended.
I mean,
Yeah,
didn't
But
they leave
see,
it off
but
in a
true.
it
cliffhanger
felt
But
that
choppy as hell.
Jiao Sejong needs to go on a journey to recover his memories and his real power or something?
yeah, but they like went over like 5 different UGs without giving them full treatments of those UGs.
I see. So it'd be kind of tricky to going off the way that they ended season one, is what you're saying?
Pretty much.
Nah, no, they didn't. Gmail was exaggerating. They didn't give us no 5 arcs, right? Like
So
what
we
the
got the
first
whole
they
we got
It
gave.
was
all of
only
the
three.
manga.
It wasn't even three. Like it was two at max, right? Like two max, and it was literally the first season of the first and second season. You got the tournament, and then the shit that happens after the tournament. Look at it like in Naruto. You got the tuning exams, and then you got the fight with Gara at the end, right? Would you say that that's 5 seasons? No, that's like maybe three seasons max. Two,
Hmm.
right?
That's a lot. That's a shit ton of
Okay, hold up.
content to get
Now, don't
missing.
tell me. Is it okay? Let me just say, Axis. If they ended at the land of waves, started the tuning exam, and then skipped it to end to the fight, with Gara, is
No,
that
no.
what you're
Like
telling
so,
me?
imagine start of the tuning exams and the end fight would be at the waterfall, right? With the two statues. I would say they cut out
A lot.
50% of that, yeah,
That's a
50%
lot.
of
Truth.
that.
There was no way to say that.
Yeah,
That's
nah,
like
okay. In
yeah.
hindsight, yeah, they chopped up way too much, way too much.
They kind of did that with Boruto, don't you think?
Well, you, I don't read
They ain't
Boruto.
chopped nothing from Baruto. They added a whole bunch
They
to
they
Baruto.
added
Yeah,
and
they made
added.
the same mistake Naruto did by adding too many fillers.
Well,
No. Boruto took that to the next level.
I was just
Yeah.
thinking that the opening was you see the ninja world mostly destroyed, and you see Boruto and Kawaki fighting in the future. I thought, wow, that was a huge opener.
Yeah, and that's why we're still watching, hoping for that.
Nah, no, we're still being extreme. Donald, here's a fair measure, right? From beginning of tuning exams to when Naruto headbutt Gara in the forest. They did that in the amount of episodes that were released.
I see.
That would be a
They
fair.
pretty
That would
much
be fair.
they
They
pretty
did leave
much
a
need to
number of
reboot.
details out.
The point is they
Bruh,
need to reboot this bitch.
you just skipped over like 50 episodes and put it into 12,
Yeah,
and not in a
it's
good
still
way.
very bad, but anime isn't. They don't. We're not doing ongoing animes like we did with the big three anymore. Anyway, right?
But you
Debatable
can make
now.
that shit seasonal.
Like
Like
now, it's more seasonal. Yeah.
My Hero is very much like the big three, but just seasonal now.
Mm.
Every they come out every year with 12 or 15 episodes, and then bam, you're done.
Not
You
gonna
know where
lie.
God of High School should what they should have done in those. It was how many episodes? 12 episodes, right? They should have just done the tournament and that's it.
Yeah,
They shouldn't
exactly.
have done what happened after. Like they should have just done the tournament and fleshed out all the backstories about Darway, the witch. Well, you lot don't know that she's a witch yet, but the sword girl. You know what I'm saying? Like the jury. Like they should have just done those backstories, some of the other contestants, some of the lore, etc., and just ended it at the tournament and kept us with like wanting more.
Hold on, y'all, because I want to bring it back to Tower God. Now that I got Yuki here. Um, yeah, this they need a third season, but this third season is going to make or break the show. Yuki, do you agree with it? What you think as far as Tower God goes? I don't know if you can speak on that.
No, I'm good. I was just sleep. I ain't gonna lie. But yeah, I keep telling you, man. Once everything's gonna be up and down until you get to that train arc. I think once the train arc hits, it's gonna be nothing but fun after that. Right now it's just like it's like the the tuning exam. It's gonna have its excitement. You know what I mean? It's gonna have its little training arc there. Some people there, but again, we're starting to get to the point too. Like if you read, it's about to be a character swap out. So it's more like getting ready for the next group of people we're about to be with.
Listen, I'm just happy we're no longer being like, when is Bomb gonna get back with his homies?
Facts,
The
facts, facts.
Tower of God is when there's a Bam getting back with his homie story. It's gonna be like that forever. Like that's the crux of it. That nigga always looking for his friends. They're always splitting up. As soon as he finds them, they split up straight away again.
That that is something I can actually agree with. True that
Listen,
a lot of the story is about them getting separated and together and separated and together. Yeah, because I
I've
wanted to disagree, but shit, even now in the story, that shit's happening. Like, so yeah, I can't even say anything.
I've
Aren't
never
we kind of used to that already? I mean, One Piece. Most of us are One Piece readers or watch, and
One Piece
that's
doesn't
what
do as
happens.
much as Tower of God. Like,
It
no
does
yeah,
it
Tower
more than
God.
that.
you get it here
God
and
damn.
there, or you'll mostly get it with Zoro. But like, and Tower of God, they do it a lot.
Wait, do they do it? Do they do it to this extent where they're like on different sides every arc, and then they have to like band together in a secret non-scene
Some
episode?
way, somehow, they get split into like 4 to 5 groups. And Coon and Rock is always gonna be with Bam somehow, some way. But everybody else, that's what because it kind of gets annoying too. 'Cause that's why it gets to the point like, oh, when we're gonna see these characters again? Because some characters really get like left on a whole different floor, but then they'll pop back up later on. Like it's like it's yeah. So they do that too much. Like I know One Piece does it, but like it's not really a One Piece trope. Like the only thing that's a trope about it is that Zoro doesn't know how to he doesn't know has a sense of direction. So it's like, oh yeah, like Zoro's lost again. But like when you have a whole group of niggas that's always getting split up by force, it's like it's a different story.
Nah, because I never hated a faction like Fug before in my life. I'm like, you useless rebels. You can't even do your jobs right, let alone let
Wait,
the
hold on,
homies
G
be your
Metal.
Were
friends.
you talking about Feud?
Fug.
Oh yeah,
Oh
hold
no,
on,
no,
G Metal.
they
Are you a
do
reader?
they do what they supposed to do.
No, I'm not.
Oh, okay, all right. Just keep. Yeah, just
That's
wait
it.
until it gets animated.
That's
That's
it.
all I'm saying.
I look. If
No.
That's
I'm
it.
chatting
They did
shit,
exactly what they
Vel,
needed to do.
Vel and Yuki are gonna tell you if I'm chatting shit. But see the Hell Train arc. It's gonna be like Ennis Lobby, Thriller Bark, and Marineford all in one.
What season will this arc be in?
They
Probably
can't
season
do it in
4.
one season. They would have to break it up into 3 seasons, right? Because you
We're
got
gonna
the
get
hell
no. We're
you
gonna
got
get
the
into
first
season three.
you got the first station, right, where they actually get onto the train, and then you got that whole story. Then you've got like a stop where they do the name thing with the low Pobia princess Elaine, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then you've got the floor of death section, right? So you got that bit, and then you
To
got
be
the last
honest, truth, they're
station,
probably
The
gonna do
Florida.
the
the
I
part
last
thought the
one
Florida
station
Death
with
season.
was on the train.
yeah, and then you've got the Vankel, the last station. So that the Hell Train arc is gonna have to be 3 seasons in itself because
Nah,
each one of
Oh,
those
you just
segments
breaking
could
it
be a
up. Okay, I
season in
got
its
you.
own. Yeah, yeah, I was
nah,
just breaking
but
it up.
truth, you get
They can't do that
understand.
whole
Listen,
thing in
truth,
one
truth,
go. If
truth.
they did
Listen,
that, they'll shit on the show, man. That will ruin it.
understandable truth. But if you pay attention, they've been doing like 2 seasons in 1 year. So that's exactly what they're gonna do. Half of that's gonna be one half of the season. The other half is gonna be the
I'll
other
be
half. Like
so
that's how they
upset.
did 2
I'll
parts.
be so upset if they do that,
But you
man.
will get ready to be upset because it's not gonna be 3 seasons.
Because the hell, the floor of death segment should be
I
its
think it's
own
gonna do
season in
exactly what
itself.
JJK did, where the first half of the season discussed like Gojo's life, and then the second half was the story. I think they're gonna do exactly what like how that, but more extended. That's because that's what they've been doing. You know what I
Damn.
mean? Even solo leveling, it's the new thing. Like it kind of goes back to the conversation y'all saying what's gonna be like the old anime is continuous going week. That's not that I think that's the thing they're trying to stop now. Because even Otis said he wish he did it, on weekly, I mean bi-weekly or whatever the case may be. So
You know what?
it's one of those things where the new thing is with the split season. They're gonna do part one, season part two, or they're gonna make a movie. That's another thing that a lot of animes are doing now. They make a movie.
You know what? I wouldn't be mad at it. Look, hear me out, right? Floor of Death as a prologue. Like when they start with the end and then they go back to the beginning and show how they ended up on the floor of death. That would be interesting. So like you said with the Gojo flashback, the first
Mhm.
few episodes was the Gojo flashback. Imagine like the first few episodes was the floor of death, but right bang in the middle of it, we see
Yeah,
Ulrich
yeah,
is there, Heljo is acting wild. We're like, what the fuck is going on? We're getting a backstory of Enryu killing the Guardian. We're like, how did Bam get here from the workshop, right? Then they flash back onto them getting onto the train. Then we see why, etc., etc. And then the Shijuku incident would be the
yeah,
last station, Evanko.
yeah.
I wouldn't be
Exactly.
mad at that,
But since they did
I
split
wouldn't be
seasons,
mad at
that's what
that.
gives it more space to add more episodes. Because to be honest, no anime has did more than 2 parts in mid season. You only get more than 2 parts if it's a finale. Like Bleach. Bleach like the part 3. Now we're waiting for the finale for part 4. Attack on Titan did a couple parts. Like it's only for at the ending you can do like, all right, we're gonna do part 3, part 4, and that's done. It's like the season's done. But for during the mid season, nah, they would do the little split season where it's like 12 episodes, or maybe even if you're lucky, 24, 24. But other than
So
that, they're
so
definitely not gonna
anime
make like
only
four
people.
parts.
So have the anime only people? They've only seen how many regulars have they seen? They've just seen Rachel, Bam, and who else? They have and Urich. That's it, right? Donald, you haven't
Like
seen any more, have you?
irregulars or regulars?
Irregulars, like people like Bam and Rachel.
I I
Rachel's
only
not a
seen.
regular.
I'm about to say Rachel's not a regular according to
Huh?
what I've seen. They
Rachel,
haven't
Rachel's
told
not
me
a
she's a
regular.
regular yet.
That's why Sean
Lord,
White Bear,
why
because he's a regular.
serious do this, man? Bro,
But
Rachel's an irregular.
if it's something they do in the manga, we haven't gotten to that part. Right now, we've only seen 2 irregulars. The Manzino
Wait, you
Joan.
said
You only,
What?
I
Wait,
think I only recall
am I
two.
slow or something? Rachel was introduced as an irregular. She entered the tower from outside the tower with Bam. She weren't meant to be there.
I mean, it makes sense when you put it that way.
It
It's
makes sense,
not
but they
that it
didn't
makes
declare.
sense. That's how she was introduced.
But they did not
Rachel and
tell.
Bam are
They did not
irregulars.
say. I don't remember them saying Rachel is the irregular. I remember them saying he was the irregular. I don't recall them saying Rachel was the irregular.
Could we
I
say she's
could be
an
wrong.
irregular because she's not like the other characters? I mean, Dom opened
No,
the
no,
door to the
no, no,
tower
no,
and she
no.
just
Wait, wait,
followed.
wait, him. Wait. Hold on. No, she is introduced in the first season.
Yeah,
First
that's what
season.
I'm
Yeah.
They
thinking.
said she was
I've
an
never not
irregular.
known Rachel
In,
to not be an
they
irregular.
said she was an
Yeah.
irregular. I completely missed it then. I only remember him being classified as an irregular, and then I remember the Manzino nigga in the whale, him being irregular.
Is that how much we
Right.
hate Rachel? Is this what's going
I
on
Bro,
mean, yeah,
if
fuck
that's
that
the
bitch.
case, it's not hate for
You
me.
could
That's
burn
how
that bitch.
irrelevant she is to me. Because I didn't even, it blew right past me. I didn't give a fuck about her.
She ain't
Still don't give a
special.
fuck about her.
Okay, so you guys have seen Bam, Rachel, Urich. Is white an irregular?
Yeah,
Who is white?
Is he? Or
White is
we
not
haven't
there
seen
yet.
white yet. He's not there yet. So
That's
wait, so
that.
where
That's
is it?
why we're talking
Workshop
about the Hell
battle.
Train arc.
Yeah,
It
we're
hasn't even come
at
out
the
yet.
end
Who's
of
in
the
the
workshop tournament.
workshop tournament? Who was in the tournament? Did we have Mad Dog? Was Mad Dog Yama in the workshop? You know he wasn't. There was someone
Mad Dog is
crazy in
the
the
Mad
workshop
Dog nigga
tournament.
is in there,
Is he there?
Mag Dog's not in regular.
and
He's
they
not an
didn't tell
irregular.
me he's
Who
a
else was in
regular.
the
They just
workshop?
say he there.
All the beast skins are created by Temare.
Nah, they ain't seen Mad Dog Yama then. Yama comes way later. Who's there's someone crazy in the workshop battle. He's meant to be like a hurdle for Bam, right? And he needs a thorn
That's
to beat
Mad
him.
Dog.
Yeah,
Is that
Mad Dog
Mad Dog?
2020.
Why am I confusing Mad Dog and Yama? They call Yama Mad Dog as well, no?
No,
No, I thought Yama created the Mad Dog, right?
Yeah, he
Okay.
did.
From
Yama did. Yes, he did. Just give
Okay,
it to
okay,
Pete. It's okay.
that's
He's
I'm
been reading
calling
too.
him Mad Dog
He's too
Yama,
far
but
ahead.
Yama's his king. That's
hmm
okay, cool. Donald, you're gonna love Yama. I hope you love Yama. I want you to love Yama still. He's one of my favorite. So Mad Dog? Mad Dog's not on a regular. He's just a crazy beast skin. So you only
yeah.
seen three so far. It's Urich, um, Rachel, and Bam. So third season, if they do the whole Train arc, you get introduced to Enryu, and that's it. Just one more, and White. But I don't know if White's in a regular. And
I don't think
Ten
he
the
is. I don't think
ten of
White
the
is.
family heads are in regulars out of the
no, no,
13.
no, they haven't, and neither are the princesses. So like Yuri and all of those, they're not irregulars. They're
Like I
princesses.
said, 10 of the family heads are in regulars out of the 13.
Is Gustang?
They all came from outside the tower.
So then and you see
I thought
Gustang
it was
in the workshop battle. So that means they've seen four then because they've seen Gustang. Unless the anime cut that out.
yeah.
Did Gustang get shown in the anime?
He's a regular. White is a regular. White is a regular.
Yeah, I was thinking White was born in the tower. He's the son of an irregular, but he's not an irregular. He's not an irregular himself.
They got him labeled as one.
All right, is there 10 families or 13 families? I'm starting to get confused here.
There's there's
10,
there's there's
10, 10, 10.
13. There's 13. There's 10
Okay,
original, but there's 13 because the other 3 were born in the tower.
all right. So the fight is
Nah,
not against the
Donald,
10 families; they're against the
Yuki's
13 families.
confusing you. He's confused. There's 10 great families. That's it.
So
Though
true,
the
true.
13 is all
Yeah,
this
so
extra lore
listen,
and
true.
there's 10 great families.
Why is there 13
Yeah, you trying to
monarchs?
get him too much.
Nah, because we don't want to spoil it serious. We don't want to start unpacking
Yeah,
things and
You
yeah,
sitting
exactly.
here
conspiracies.
naming the regulars and shit and already spoiling for them. What do you mean?
No, I'm trying to
Nah,
gauge
he
where
got you
they're
there,
at
nigga.
in the story.
He got you there. You
You
talk
trying to
all
put
these
the
irregulars. You
blame
might as
on
well be
me?
spoiling.
Like you was already spoiling, but there's a reason why there's 13 swords.
Where these swords come from?
Donald, hold on, Donald.
The
Look at
sword
Fug
Bam
as
has
the
when he receives an
Revolutionary
order,
Army.
the Black Monarch.
Hold on, you. Hold on. Look at Fug as the Revolutionary Army, Donald. That's the best way to look at that. Yeah. And think of the great 10 great families like Celestial Dragons and the Navy as one. Like, that's the best way I can put it.
Look, right now,
Hey,
Fug does. I can't compare Fug to Revolutionary Army because Revolutionary Army seems organized. There's not no infighting. I feel like there's a lot of infighting in Fug right now.
Hey, fuck, motherfucking organized. I say that.
They ain't
it
looking very
ain't
Fuck,
organized.
it,
motherfucking
They ain't
organized.
looking organized during this
Yeah,
workshop
yeah.
shop battle tournament. That's
Yeah,
when they not
I know,
looking
I
Nah,
know, I
organized.
know. It's chaotic.
Donald,
Because
you're
right,
looking
because the
at the
beginning,
tuning
what it is
exams,
at the
and then
beginning
you're
is everybody wants a piece of Bam. That's all it is. Everybody, it's all about who can get the golden boy. But
yeah.
later on, when you get over that, that's when you start really seeing how things are working out.
Look at it like this, Donald. Right? When we
Because like
watch the
that's kind of what the main thing about Bam is that when the 10th family knows about him, a lot of them like that were more curious. It was like, oh, he's from the outside world, and they haven't been outside world in like 1,000 years, over 1,000 years. So to them, they're like, oh, like some of them were like, oh, what's going on out there? You know, when they come to Bam, and other niggas got other plans for him. You know what I mean? So that's how they look at it. Like when you're a regular and then you come into the tower, somebody who used to be outside the tower and they haven't been out there in like centuries, they look at them
Okay,
like,
so
oh,
let me make sure I got these definitions right.
yeah,
A regular means you just was born outside the tower,
yeah. In regulars, you're
and then
just
you
born
got in.
outside the tower. That's it.
All right, and then you
Nothing
got in the
special.
tower. That's it. That's the only thing special about
That's
a
the only
regular.
no,
difference.
no, and
That's the only difference.
but the people that came from outside the tower, they usually have something special about them. Like no one's come from outside the tower and is just a regular person. Like there's something mad about them.
So Rachel
That's
is
how
gonna
they give
show
it
me
off in the
something
beginning,
later.
but in reality,
She's an
nah.
irregular, so
Okay,
whatever,
so she gonna show me something later. You
whatever
don't
they
have to tell
say,
me what it is. You just tell me, is she gonna show me something later that's gonna make her
and
interesting?
Who, Rachel? She's gonna be a failure just like she is.
it's
That's all I'm gonna
subjective.
say.
It's subjective. It's subjective, Donald. You're gonna just follow the journey, right? And then in regards
Donald,
to
you sound like one of them niggas that want Rachel to win, and we don't rock with niggas like him. We don't rock with niggas like him. We got who got hope for the blonde hair, blue eyed woman.
Look,
nah,
I
come on,
just
man.
I said you wasn't here, but I said to me, her relevance is the same as Buggy's.
Oh
Fucking
yeah,
back
yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, perfect. That's just perfect, man. I
Nah,
have to give Buggy more credit. Buggy put
She's
in more
more
work than her.
Blackbeard. She's more Blackbeard than Buggy, man.
She's not Blackbeard, bro. Get the hell
She
out of
is
here, bro.
Blackbeard,
I
man.
don't let you say
Rachel is a
shit long enough, bro. And she's
problem.
no Blackbeard.
hold
Like
on,
up to date,
Yuki.
what
I'll
she's
say
done in this
this.
fucking tower, she has shook that place,
Hold on.
man.
I'm
No
gonna say
way.
this. Oh, wait. Hold on,
And she got
truth.
shook with it.
Hold on. Let me bring some balance.
But
I'm not gonna say she's not a complete Blackbeard. She might be a 25% Blackbeard, but I can't make her a full Blackbeard. I'm sorry. Nah, she
because
ain't fully
Blackbeard gets shit
Blackbeard.
done.
She's a piece. Yeah, she's a
Nah,
piece of
I can't
Blackbeard.
wait. I can't wait to yo, you lot really have you forgotten for the readers, for you, Sirius and Vel, like have you forgotten what she's done in the tower up
I
That's
till
know what
now?
she's
cool,
done.
but
She's a great
truth is
manipulator.
it's
That's
one thing
cute.
to have things. Go ahead, Vel. Go ahead, Vel.
No, it's cute. But it's she still has those moments where she gets put in her place. Then she
She's
has
basically
certain
Loki.
moments.
She's
But
Loki
go ahead.
from
Yeah.
Avengers. Like no matter what she does, it benefits the group. po- no matter if she does positive, negative things, it never benefits her. And she's trying to benefit herself, and it never works. Even when she thought she got some power, it wasn't real. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, that's just her life, bro. Like, she's Loki from the Avengers, bro. Like, no matter what
Okay,
she
I'll
does,
fuck with
it's gonna
low
help
key
the
more
group.
than Buggy, but Buggy's a big disrespect, man. She's
But
way
Bucky
more
gets shit
relevant
done.
than
That's the
Buggy.
thing. Like, that's the problem people want to admit is Bucky gets shit done. Like, there's a reason why he's emperor. Now, do I see Rachel
Buggy
becoming the
fails
emperor?
upward,
No.
bro. That's a compliment. You fail to success.
Not really.
What do you mean? Buggy fails upward. Am I? Isn't that
Buggy just
what
be in the
he's
right
done?
place, right time. He's just lucky.
Isn't that
Exactly.
failing
Rachel's never in
upward?
the right place at the right time. She
Okay,
that's
someone
remind me of
define what
Loki.
failing
Loki's
upward
always at
means
the
to me,
wrong place
please.
at the wrong time.
What does failing upward mean to you?
Being in the wrong place at the right time.
Yeah.
Could you elaborate on that, on as to how that being at the wrong place at the right failing upward? That's not what. Okay.
That actually makes sense. Being at the wrong place at the right time it makes a lot of sense. Because you was at the wrong place at the right time, so you failed, but you ran into somebody while during that failure, and they pushed you upwards. You know what I mean? Like that actually kind of works.
That's what happened. That's Rachel.
Yeah.
That is Rachel. She is surrounded by people. And she's there, and then it helps her out somewhat, but not really.
My only statement on Rachel will ever be, "Fuck Rachel."
Hey, gee, I'm with you on that, bro. We should have a parade.
Hey Donald, I wanted to catch you on this whole Fug looks disorganized, right? The way you got to look at it now in season 2, these Fug
Oh
members
yeah,
that
we
you're
gotta talk about
seeing,
that.
yeah, it's like the tuning exams, right? You know how they have the tuning exams, and then you're looking at these participants in the tuning exams, and you're saying, "Oh, their village must be trash." Like, look at these are the kids of the village, right? That are gonna one day become ninjas, right? They're not representative of Fug. Right now, what we're seeing are candidate slayers, you know, people that haven't even ranked the tower yet. Like, these are the low level Fug members, like the bottom of the barrel, so to speak. And the only thing that makes Bam special amongst the bottom of the barrel is because the leaders think he has potential to be someone of substance within the organization. But we haven't seen the true organization yet. Trust me, Fug is a big deal.
Oh, we yeah. You know what I mean? What they thought, they thought it worked. You know what I mean? It's exactly what they thought. That's why it makes it a good story. You know what I mean? Because a lot of anime stories don't let the. I'm not gonna say they're bad guys, but just put them in that category to separate them. They never let the bad guys like finish their quest. And in Tower of God, we actually get to see that, where the bad guy actually finishes the quest, and it feels like when the bad, like that's what I'm saying. When we're saying like, yo, the story's just starting right now, like 3 chapters ago, it's because literally the whole before that whole story, like the whole chapter start, it's like everything from 600 something until the beginning of the story felt like it was all about the bad guys setting up the plan, doing what they need to do, and it finally happened. Like if they finally got what they needed, you know what I mean? They did what they did, and now it's like when they completed that goal, now it feels like the story starts. You know what I mean? So it's like that's what made it really good. It took a long time, you know what I mean, but it worked. You know what I mean? Like,
For me, the story started at the last station.
yeah, we're reading two different stories.
I'm
We're
gonna
reading two
I'm gonna
different
say
stories, man.
this. Hey, Donald, hold on. Is Donald this? Okay, he on the phone.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll wait till he get back. But no, I just man, like fuck, they just need. Well, you know what? No, I can't say that because of who they got at the end of the chapter.
Fug is
Never
like the
mind.
Revolutionary Army in One Piece.
It is, but
The
if you're
goals
gonna
is
go up
different.
against the 10 families, you don't need more powerful people.
The 10
That's
families
my
are like the
thing.
Celestial Dragons. The Marines are the. Who would I say are the
I feel like the
Marines?
10th family is like fucking God Knights, nigga.
Yeah, I say Zarhad's army for the most part of the Marines, and then you got the 10 families are like the Celestial Dragons. You got Fug, which is like the what do you call it? The Revolutionary Army, and then you
I
got
think you got it
Uruk.
backwards.
Go on. How would you make the parallels?
I would say the 10 families
But
are
Fugue is
Marines.
still one of the 12. I mean, one of the 13 families.
I
I would
think
say
the
the
13
families are the
Swords are
Marines.
like the Warlords.
But yeah, I just want to get introduced to the princesses. That's what I'm waiting to see. This is a high pitch.
You know what though? Like, and that's why I said that this is one of those shows that's gonna be as long as One Piece, if maybe if not longer, if they do it right. Because that's a whole season of itself, bro. You know what I mean? Like all the princesses, like we already been seeing
That's what
like
I was
little
telling
bits of
Donald. But go ahead.
the princesses throughout the seasons in general. But like to finally see them actually battle to the death or whatever they got to do to become the next heir or whatever, like I'm waiting for that shit.
That's Hell Train, no? That's
Nah, it's
middle
not.
middle of the Hell Train. They get to the name station, and then at the name station, you've got Elaine, who's a princess candidate, and you hear the
The Hell
backstory, and you get
Train is
more.
not the Battle of the Princesses.
No, no, hear what I'm saying, serious, please. Look, look. When you get to the name station, we get introduced to Elaine. She was a princess candidate, right, for her family. And when they're telling her backstory, we get to know exactly how these princesses become members of Jaha's family and how they're picked and whatnot. And then we also see we see the twins. Those are the two princesses as well. And we've got the princess that we've been introduced to as well. And we get that whole story fleshed out a little bit more. So I'm not saying it's an in depth. We get to see the princesses fight and rock it out, but we get the lore within the Hell Train arc.
Yeah, but that's something completely different than what me and Vel was talking about. Like we get that, but the whole ideal is to see what the whole challenge of the princesses is about, and the reason why we know we haven't got that because Yuri is not allowed in those areas that the younger levels are allowed to be at. So it's like she violates the rules even showing up around Bam. So that's where we know, like, all right, these are the youngins, but Yuri's still part of the 13 princesses, so they still got to get through her. You know what I mean? And you know what I mean. So that's what I'm saying. Like, there's other people that's like we have to see them all in the same room. Like, yeah, we see like three of them in the room, but there's more to them. You know what I mean? And we've seen even stronger ones. I think Gusting's daughter is one of them too, right? The one that had the pen.
Yep, yep.
Yeah, so it's like you have
Yeah.
to fight Yuri and her to even think about getting through to be number one princess. Out of all the princes we've seen, they have no potential of beating neither one of these girls. So it's like, but I'm pretty sure with a nice like season or the right games put together for the princesses, it would be amazing. Like I do agree with Vel, where like if they do a season with the princesses and we got the idea of what it is, obviously it's gonna Bam's gonna come in and like save these girls, and it's gonna be his new harem and shit. But at the end of the day, like that'd be nice.
Hold on, real quick. Because I was telling Donald that I don't know if he's still on the phone or not. I was telling Donald that we have a
I'm back.
lot to get. Okay, okay, cool, cool, cool. I was telling Donald that there's a lot of stuff we got to get to before we just get a bunch of information on Bam because that I look at Bam as like the One Piece, damn near.
Yeah, he is the
Is
One
that
Piece.
fair?
Yeah, like that makes
Yeah,
sense.
he's the
Okay,
one piece.
okay, okay, cool. So that's the
But
best way I can put it, Donald. Yeah.
have you and if you read it, have you got an answer on what's his face Wangman, the Prince of Jihad over here?
Oh, the
Yeah,
nigga that
they're
look
just
like Jahad
fleshing that
Jr.
out
We
now.
haven't gotten that.
Like
We haven't got anything on him yet.
we just got teasers. Like the way that this season, the latest season just ended. We got introduced to like some place called the Red Room, and there's a lot of Easter eggs there that tie back to Wagner.
Okay.
A lot of theories,
Cause
and
he got we got you got his lookalike. You got his lookalike here. I think it's
there's like
somebody
they,
with maybe his father,
yeah,
older brother, or something like
you get
that. But
three
it's
of
not. It's
them,
not him
right?
though.
You get three of them. You get one in a flashback. You get one that looks like Zahard in some fucking Conan the Barbarian outfit. You got Wagner. Like there's like three or four of them that look
Yeah.
identical, and it's got the fandom
Because
speaking
we
about
know
what is
what
going
Jahal
on
looks like
here.
now through the flashback. Not what he looks like now, older, but when they were younger, we know what he looks like, and he definitely looks like Wingnum. So it's like, okay, cool. But then there was a situation that happened. There was a guy that was there, like he's saying, with the fucking prehistoric armor on, and it looked like Wingnum. It just wasn't him. It was somebody else who looked older, because an older version looking of him. But it's just it still leaves us in the air. Like, are these niggas related to Jihad, or like who's these niggas that look like him? Like,
Yeah, so that's where we're at now. It's like teasers.
Hey, quick question.
what?
Do is it the Hell arc where we get information about Bam and I'm about his parents? Is that the Hell arc?
No, we get that way
Nah,
later.
that's further.
Way later on.
Yeah.
I swear. Okay, okay. Well, at least one of them, but okay. The only reason I brought that up because Donald wanted to know, because he wanted to know more about Bam, and he's trying to see if
We
they're gonna
get
leave us breadcrumbs.
we get more information on Bam when they go into that game world. You know, remember when they go into that game world and they see like the
Yeah.
younger version of God? Yeah, that's when they start talking about his lore, and there's a lot of his lore around that story.